Hey everyone, welcome back to FPL Pinnacle. Today we're diving into the recap for Game Week 22, as well as looking at some of the best transfer targets in every position, and finally my very own transfer plans and team selection for Game Week 23. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Let's jump into how my team performed last week, what went right, what went wrong. Spoiler alert, it was a mixed bag. So let's get into it. Alright, let's kick off by taking a look at my Game Week 22 points haul. I finished with a total of 55 points, which was a green arrow for me from 420k to around 350k. I'll be honest, it could have been better, but there were some key moments that really made or broke my week. Firstly, let's talk about the players who really stepped up. My star performer this week was Chris Wood. He delivered with a goal and an assist, earning me a solid 12 points. If you had him in your team, you were probably smiling, even more so if you captained him. Another great performance came from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool kept a clean sheet against Brentford, and he got himself an assist. Robinson and Fernandes also came through with 8 points apiece. On the flip side though, there were some disappointments, namely the Arsenal defence, of which I have Gabriel and Raya, as well as the Newcastle attack in Gordon and Isaac. It's looking like double Arsenal might not be quite worth it at this point. I had high hopes for Salah, but he ended with 6 points in a week where most the highly owned captains blank. It's just one of those weeks in FPL where some picks don't deliver, but that's part of the game. Now let's talk about transfers. I've been looking at some key players and I want to share my top picks with you for each position. Starting with the defenders, my top 5 picks for Game Week 23 are Trent Alexander-Arnold at number 1. He has the highest expected goal involvements per 90 in the last 6 weeks, and Liverpool have a double game week after a leaky Ipswich this week. Gabriel is still a solid pick at the back for Arsenal and a real threat on set pieces. Lewis Hall has been one of Newcastle's standouts and is now the 3rd highest scoring defender this season. Munoz is a bit of a hidden gem. Playing for a Palace team with great fixtures, he's also 3rd for expected goal involvements over the same period. And Olareina is a reliable defender in one of the best defences in the league. Now let's move on to the midfielders. These are the guys I've been eyeing up for some key transfers. Anthony Gordon blanked last week, but that's the first time in 7 Premier League games, and they have Southampton next. Brian Mbeumo is a consistent performer for Brentford, always looking dangerous on the counter-attack, and their fixtures are swinging. Luis Diaz, when fit, he's one of Liverpool's most explosive players, capable of breaking games open, but there is a question on his minutes. Phil Foden, City's midfield maestro, has now scored 5 goals in 2 games as City look to be turning their season around, but the fixtures are now turning out of favour for them. Justin Kluivert is flying under the radar a bit, but delivering for his team. He's a solid budget option, and alongside Diaz and Foden, is in the top 5 mids for expected goals per 90 over the past 6 weeks. And lastly, my top 5 forward picks. Alexander Isak is a goal-scoring machine and Newcastle's attack revolves around him. He has the best expected goals per 90 of all the forwards with 0.95, as well as the highest big chance data with 1.60. Newcastle also have the 2nd best attack of late, just behind Liverpool's. Cody Gakpo is a player with so much potential, especially with Liverpool's double game week coming up. Alongside Salah and Trent, he would be next on my list to triple up on Liverpool. Jean-Philippe Mateta has now scored 4 goals in his past 3 games for Palace and is on penalties. And Chris Wood, another big target man, has 14 goals already this season. Last but not least is Ollie Watkins, back to his scoring ways, and Villa have West Ham, Wolves and Ipswich in their next 3. So, those are the players I'm eyeing for transfers going into Game Week 23. These guys have the potential to make a real impact, whether you're looking to bring in a solid defender, an attacking midfielder, or a forward with good fixtures ahead. Let me know in the comments if you're eyeing any of these players or if you have your own top picks for the next few weeks. Looking ahead to Game Week 23, it's shaping up to be an interesting one. We've got some juicy fixtures with Liverpool and Newcastle looking like potential point haulers. If you've still got some transfers in hand, This is the perfect time to set yourself up for a big week. I myself have 3 transfers this week, and I'm looking to roll because of the double in 24. This could really impact your transfers and strategy, and any transfers you make this week, take the next few weeks into consideration as well. Now, let's take a look at how I'm lining up for Game Week 23. I've made sure to set myself up with some solid fixtures, and I'm hoping this lineup will give me the edge. In goal, I'm sticking with Raya as Arsenal play a struggling Wolves side. At the back, Gabriel joins Raya with Arsenal's strong defence and Gabriel's threat on set pieces. I'm expecting a good return here. Then there's Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is facing Ipswich. Liverpool's attack is in full swing, and with his attacking potential, I'm hoping for both defensive and attacking returns. Next is Lewis Hall over Robinson this week, playing against Southampton. Hall's involvement in attack makes him a great option. Moving into the midfield, and it's all about Mohamed Salah as my captain for the week. He's been fantastic this season, and against an Ipswich that just shipped 6 goals to City, I'm backing him to deliver big points despite 2 blanks in a row now. Then we've got Anthony Gordon. He's been involved in most of Newcastle's attacking play, and I'm expecting him to continue that form. Southampton are the worst defence in the league, so he could go big. Cole Palmer makes the midfield as well, despite being heavily transferred out this week. He's been a consistent performer for Chelsea, and in no world would I be taking him out of my team. It could be a tough game against City, but they are also hit and miss at the moment. Bruno Fernandes is in there too, a pretty poor United team versus a decent Fulham one. This could go either way, but if United do produce anything, he's usually involved. Lastly, Morgan Rogers. He's been a solid budget option all season, and if he gets the minutes after the Champions League commitments, he could surprise us with a return against West Ham. Up front, I've gone Chris Wood over João Pedro. Despite Pedro having the easier fixture, I think the wise choice is to go for Wood because of the ownership. He's facing an informed Bournemouth team, but with his physical presence, he's always a danger in the box. And Alexander Isak is my other forward. He's been on fire lately, and I'm really backing him to get on the score sheet against Southampton. Another great captaincy shout, but I just can't look past Salah at home against Ipswich myself. Before we wrap up, I want to give a quick shout out to everyone in FPL Pinnacle community. How did your Game Week 22 go? Drop your scores in the comments below and let me know if you made any big moves that paid off. I love hearing how you're all managing your teams, and it's great to learn from each other. That's it for today's recap, folks. Thanks for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, share it with your FPL buddies, and of course, subscribe for more content. I'll be back with more updates, tips, and strategies for the upcoming game weeks. Best of luck with your team, and let's keep aiming for that FPL Pinnacle. See you in the next one.